Okay, let's get started. Again, I want to say hi to everybody. Welcome to all your scanner users here. I'm going to put a quick page link out here to a page just in case somebody here is not a scanner user and you're just lurking. That's okay. We like lurkers. There you go. That'll send you to a landing page that will there's another little video on there that our friend Ed Carter did that explains LTA a little differently than what I'm looking at. What I'm going to look at here are what I do on Tuesdays is I just look at what are some of our favorite scans are, new scans that I've maybe have come across that Ed has created with live trading alerts. We did this last week. And remember that tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, Ed will be doing another live trading alerts class here in the room. So if you're interested, kind of different. I'm just looking at a couple of scans. He gets a little more in the weeds about the scans and answers your questions that direction. So let's see what we can do. So here the other day, I was talking with an individual in the trading room, and they were describing a scan, and they mentioned who the scan or the chart setup, who the chart setup was from. And years ago, I used to follow them quite a bit, and a lot of what I do actually comes from their type of trading. Just, so I talked to Ed, and Ed says, "Hey, Rick, there's already a scan on in the system," and that's from Pristine. A lot of Pristine followers here. I've read a lot in my early days. Their setups, their chart patterns, it made a lot of sense to me. So a lot of what I do actually follows along those lines. Not everything, and but the basic chart setups are all there. Well, there is an alert setup. Sorry, let me get this put away. I'm gonna fix this so it stays on the top. For those that don't know how to put this on the top, just simply go inside your window, right click, and click Stay on Top. What that means is I can click all over this screen and that won't go behind. So, now one thing that I've not done with this, and I got to tell you, I like this. I like the charts it's pulling up, but I think it needs a little tweaking for me personally. But all it is a matter of adding some trend in there, things like that. I'm not going to change the scan at all. I think the scan does just what it's supposed to do. But there might be some trending issues and things that I want to put in there, and I will be sharing that with everybody. So if you wanted to go get this, it's just you could type in PBS and this will come up, and it's the Pristine pullback setup is what it is, and it is pulling up some pretty nice ones. Let's take a look at this. They're not all what I would look for. Like I say, I'm going to put some trending things in there that I like. But if you click through these, you'll find that it really does pull up some nice charts. Here's CLDR putting in this Oreo, or this now not really a cookie, I guess, but a Morningstar type signal. Sure wish that doji was a little bit lower there. But anyway, if it closes today over this 1069, this high of the body, or follows through tomorrow above that, that would be right up my alley, right there. But it really, I'm finding that it really does pull up some nice charts. Again, I need to have that trend in there. Let's look at race, and let's see. Let's add a trend while we're here right now. Look at race. That is what I would be looking for. This is perfection right here in my book. So let's do this. What I'm afraid of is it might the market is pulling back a little bit, and it might not give us too many hits, but we'll try it out. So what I'm going to add is the 17 trend. I like that. So I'm going to come up here and just click on this plus sign. You get this box. I'm going to type in trend, and then bull trend 17 EMA, and then we'll click OK. And while this is kind of shaking and baking, I want to show you another change that I made. And this is just to my own liking. The Pristine PBS, if you come over here to the parameters, it comes out of the box simple and then the 20, like that. Where, and believe me, I think that is a great setup, okay? But all my charts are set up with the 17. I like using the 17. I would have no problem using the simple, the close, and the 20-day simple, or the 20 of the simple. Now, I prefer exponential, so I'm going to change mine to the exponential. I don't know that it's going to make a huge difference. You'll find that the 17 EMA and the 20 simple, boy, they cross paths an awful lot. So I'm kind of liking what that is. Like I say, it's just mostly what I use. But again, the 20 would be just fine. I do have this set to all U.S. ticker symbols that we have that's in the scanner. Down the road, I'm going to change that. But right now, I'm just using this because it gives us more alerts to look at. So, here's this VBIV. It's above the 17. Still not perfect. I like that CLDR. And see, that's what we want. We want these charts to be given to us. We don't want them just running rampant in here. And we want chart patterns that we understand. So, and I understand this chart setup. I understand the whole idea of the trend, the pullback. So that's all I want to be alerted on. And this is all morning long. Yesterday, I was watching this, and this is going to become one of my favorites. I'm going to put this on the in the drop down for those that don't know about that. Let me point that out to you. I'm going to put that in the pre-configured alerts as one of the favorites. I do like it a lot. So you'll come down here and you'll be able to see the Pristine PBS. PBS stands for pullback setup, by the way. It's a lot like our PBO, pullback opportunity. A lot like it. But I say it will be on my favorites list. And I appreciate Ed allowing us to put those up there. So anyway, let's close this. There we go. So let's see, Lauren. Ed already answered there. It doesn't take him very long at all, Lauren, I got to tell you. Let's see, Eric. I see your V-stop 1010 is on the main chart, or 17. What exactly are you asking, Eric? I see your V-stop 1010. You're right. Is on the main chart. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're asking there, Eric. Actually, asking. So you want the V-stop settings? Is that right? Like I say, you're not asking a question yet. Are you wanting V-stop settings? Volatility stop settings. Tim, yes, there is. It's called, and I haven't looked at it very much, PSS. If you go to the scanner and type in PSS, Pristine short setup, maybe. Pristine. Did I lose you, Eric? So, Eric, what I see on your chart, no. Eric, what I don't want, this is not a what's my chart setting kind of 30 minutes that I'm doing, okay? I really want to answer your question, but what I see, forget what you see. Let me ask you, are you looking for the volume volatility stop settings? Or are you looking for the red green line? That's what I need to know. Hey, thanks, Alan. Eric, if you could. All right, never mind. Okay, so sorry, Eric, we're going to move on. After this, we can talk. Okay. Let's take a look at COD. See how look at how that's setting up. I am kind of liking this chart a lot. See how we have a nice trend up. We've pulled back. Nasty day. That definitely nasty day. We've got this morning star set up, and I wouldn't be a buyer. I wouldn't be a buyer right in this area. I would let today close and then trade where above whatever the close is. But I am liking this chart an awful lot. I'm liking what it's pulling up. We got a nice little bottom right in here. Nice little bottom here. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. I am going to do some tweaking to it because this kind of chart is not my game. So I'm going to try to eliminate this type of chart using things that are already in the scanner, just adding it to the scan. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. So yesterday or last week when we did this, somebody asked about volume alerts, and we were toward the end of the time, so I couldn't really talk about it. And so here's one I like to use, and I'll tell you, I like to use this at the end of the day. Let me make sure that let's make that a little bigger. There we go. All right, I like to use this at the end of the day mostly. And what I'm looking for is a volume breakout. And if we look down here, here's my volume bars. What I'm looking for is a chart setup where today's volume is greater than yesterday's volume. Now, you might be wondering why it's on the chart now. Why is it coming up and it's not larger than? Well, that's because right now it is 10:57 Eastern time. What this is telling us is that this candle here is within. Ed, maybe you can help. 90%, or is it higher than that? It's 90% maybe, unless he corrects me here. Within 1%. Okay, so 99%. It's within 1% of yesterday's high at this current time. So I don't use it intraday. I hardly even look at it intraday. I think if you are looking for intraday setups, this might be more useful, intraday. If you're using like day trading, if you're using a 5-minute chart, a 15-minute chart, you set this up for the 5-minute or 15-minute, and it might be a little bit more in tune using it intraday. I look at it, like I say, at the end of the day. And what I do is I scan through this, and I want to see those stocks that are breaking out or within 1% of breaking out over yesterday. And then as I look at those stocks, what I'm going to do is look for the chart setups that I like. There's never really so many on here that you can't look through them. And I don't have, well, actually I do. I take that back. I do have the trap set up, bull trend, white candle, and this is it here, volume increasing this candle. This is the scan that does it. I forgot that I actually had that set up. So I guess I am looking for stocks where the volume is meeting yesterday's volume or greater that is in our type or my type of chart pattern, like CBS. See, this is my type of chart pattern where we've rallied up inside day. Show me the breakout candle, and what I don't want is today's candle breaking out. Let's see, SE. See how SE is here. So if this could hold up and we showed some pretty good volume, and if this just started to climb up a little bit and a little bit more bullish, this might be a chart I take very near to the close. Let's see if there's any others. There's not. Well, XLC is one. There's XLC. This actually would be a perfect candidate for me at the close, where the chart has, we've got a nice couple bars up, and for the most part, we're completely inside. We're slightly over yesterday's candle, but it hasn't taken off. So if this volume bar was showing up, say up here, I would be buying that toward the end of the close. And when I say toward the end, like the last 40 minutes, the last 30 minutes, the last 15 minutes, something like that, into that close, I would be buying that. And what I'd be looking for is that move up, that quick little run or gap up tomorrow. And then if it's a gap up, we all know gaps are gifts, so it's likely to be sold, at least half the position sold on that gap. So let's see. Do we have any new ones over here? Let's look at that. And see, this is where I'm going to make some adjustments on this. And when I get these made, I'll let you know. But if you well, I get, it's making this little tight little flag area. It's just that I want mine up here a little higher. Let me see if one can come up. This chart would be on my list right here. Pizza. Yeah, I'm still not. There you go. There. See, that's what I'm looking for right there. And I'll make those adjustments to this, and I will definitely let you know there. So Eric, okay. So you really want to know how to make the trend indicator, is that correct? And the way you make the trend indicator is I'm using the volatility stop 1010. So you have to put the 17 EMA up on the chart, and then you have the trend indicator as well. You set it to, the volatility stop, you set it to 1010, and then the data source you make as the 17 EMA. And that's what changes it to the red and green dots. Is that what you wanted to know? There you go. Cool beans. Okay. Any questions about these or maybe last week or any scans? Does anyone have any favorites? And by the way, our favorites sometimes all come from you guys. You'd be amazed how many times somebody writes in and Ed shares some of this stuff with us. And he uses it on his ideas too, where you have an idea for a chart setup. You explain it to Ed. Ed builds the scan, and before you know it, we have this machine running that's giving us these scans, these alerts on just what we're looking for. And this whole Pristine one, I didn't know it was there in the list at all. And then it all came because somebody asked about it the other day, and we were talking, and then I mentioned it to Ed, and Ed said, well, it's there. So I've had it up for a couple of days now, kind of watching it. And I still haven't added anything to it, just because I want to get a feel of what it's doing. So, Tim, so the volume at the end of the day would show trading is strong, but of course we would go to the chart, that interest may be headed. Of course, we would go by the chart. Yeah, go by the chart. All I want to know is I'm looking for those. I want that extra little volume in there. So toward the end of the day, if I see the buyers showing some good volume and this was a nice chart setup here, I mean, how, like, it's like this chart right here. That's a beauty of a chart. If so, toward the end of the day, if the volume was up here over yesterday's candle, I very likely would be a buyer of this at the end of the day, looking for that follow through up to the upside. Now, why do I wait to the end of the day? Because I'm looking at a daily chart. You could actually put this on an hourly chart. You could put it on a 15-minute chart if you're into that intraday type stuff. Now, I'm not so much. I'm more of a daily chart user. So I watch this based on the end of the day. You bet, you bet. And I do like it. And I've made some good plays with this. Coming from a chart with a good setup where the volume is up, but the chart hasn't ran. It just hasn't busted out yet. And that's I want to be in there before the bust out. Yeah. Let's see here. We had to talk about the 17-day breakout on above average volume that was already in LTA. Yeah, the 17-day breakout, if you want to make it above average volume, you would have to add, this is just the 17-day breakout. You would have to add that extra volume on that less. And we could sure talk to Ed and see which one he recommends as the best one to put out there. And what this does, this is, you can, whoops, let me fix that. Let me make it stay on top. Stay on top. There we go. And this is definitely one of my favorites. On looking for that breakout. And what it does is it look for J-hook type breakouts or just breakouts in general. But it's taking the past 17 days and it alerts you when it's breaking out over the highest high in 17 days. And it could be the highest high yesterday, all the way back to 17 days. It's like the cues here. I see it's breaking out. Here, let's find one. Let's look at A, B, B, B. There we go. See how this is breaking out? The highest high is right here 3 days ago. Adobe. Yeah, I'm looking for one that might go back a ways. MUR. Nah, these are all early morning things. All right. But anyway, Tim, I'll work with Ed. I'll make a note of this and work with Ed and look at maybe adding a breakout and being able to add volume to it on extra some sort of volume surge or something like that. I know you like those sort of things, and we'll see what we can do about that. Absolutely. I'll try to have that ready for next week, and we'll talk about that next week because that's one of my favorite scans, and I need to get that one on that drop-down list. That is not on this list, I believe. I don't believe it is. Yeah, and I will make sure I get it on there. Oh, and by the way, for those that aren't, if you look at all this and it's confusing, it can be. Don't overthink it. Don't overdo it. Don't blow your mind up. If you download the scanner or you want one of these scans, just click on this drop down arrow and just click on the scan and notice how it fills everything in for you. We can all do that. That's pretty simple. The hardest thing you have to do is name it. Just name it whatever you want, and then pick whatever watch list you want. CBOE 400, S&P, Qs, diamonds. You can even make your own list. We can help you do that. That's on another conversation. And then click on create window. So it's pretty easy to get that done. Let's see here. Bal, do you always enter towards end of the day on the daily time frame? No, not at all, Bal. I enter all throughout the day, morning, noon, night. It's just this particular alert we were talking about, looking for trades toward the end of the day, because it's great information to know that, say, Tesla here is right now it's above it's equal to within 1% of its volume at this time yesterday. That's great to know. That's a good piece of information. But really the information that I want to know is it breaking out over yesterday's candle? Therefore, I have to wait toward the end of the day to look at that. And it does happen during the day. You can see these, but I usually look at it toward the end of the day. So to answer your question, Val, no, I absolutely, I buy all through the day. Let's see here. Got to run. Take care, Alan. Rob, the Heikenashe trap there. Let's see, Ed grab that one. Thank you, Ed. Tim, is your favorite still the 3/8 vol trap of volatility? It is. I'll let you in on a little secret, Tim. Let me go find it here. This right here is I call it the black box, and it's going to be one of my top favorites, without question. I'm not ready to put it up there yet. Still kind of playing with it, but it is absolutely becoming one of my favorites. I have both red and green, so up and down. When it's all finished, I'll have it only going up. I have it going down now just so I can keep watching these charts, and I'm making some tweaks in it. But you see there, I mean, that is a nice chart. SMH, look at that SMH. That's looking good. Nike. Oh, look at Nike. I mean, that's got buy screaming all over it. That's just a nice chart. But this will be out maybe by the end of the week. I'll push this out as my favorite, as one of my favorites, and it has become the one that I probably look at the most, even over the 3/8 volatility trap, 3/8 volatility trap. But don't, different market conditions are going to give you different type of alerts. So the 3/8 volatility stop scan, that's always going to be a favorite. This just builds on it a little bit, and a few different flavors inside what's inside this. But this will be coming out maybe by the end of the week. Maybe. Like I said, I just want to make sure everything is dialed in on it. Let's see. Is there a volume breakout scan? Dan, would you mind sharing a chart or describing? In other words, when you say breakout, let's look at Morgan Stanley here. Are you saying a breakout to new highs? Are you saying a breakout right here but below? Little things like that. I believe it was Les, was asking about that 17-day breakout that's what we were just talking about, a breakout on some extra volume, maybe. And I don't know if that is what you're looking for, but if you have if you wouldn't mind writing it up, just posting it in here, and maybe post an example on a chart, Ed, what I would do is pass it along to Ed, which I think he's here, and then he could absolutely build something or start building it to suit your needs. And actually, I think that would be an excellent idea. Okay, yeah, just let us know. Let Ed know. All I'm going to do is pass it along to Ed. Ed is the controller here. And he'll put it on his list. I'm confident of that. Very confident. So, all right. I don't want to overstay my welcome here. So we've been about 30 minutes. How many people here don't have the scanner? Does anyone not have the scanner? And if you don't, I'm going to put this link up again. And look, if you pick it up before July 1st, Ed says you still get it for the $97 a month. If you wait till after July 1st, it's going to be $147 a month. If you get it, of course, you can cancel it anytime. Also, if you get it for the $97, you are grandfathered into at that pricing. So the pricing will never go up. You'll never be charged $147. Anyway, for those that don't have it, there's a link for you. I just posted in there. If somebody is watching the YouTube video, you'll see the link posted down below underneath the video. I'll make sure it's posted there. So, Phil, you have it, but don't use it yet. Phil, you are one of the people in the room that I enjoy seeing your trades and your insight on things. I would be very excited to see you start using it and see what you think of it on some of your trades. Like I say, you've got some pretty interesting trades, and I like your chart quality. So that would be very cool. So, alrighty, I'm going to back out of here. I'm going to say thank you very much to everybody, and appreciate you all being here. Thanks to Ed for creating the live trading alerts. It has been just a wonderful tool, and you guys all know that I've used the scanner for years, a different one, and then when Ed created this one, I switched over to this here. So I am so happy, so tickled, and believe it or not, I paid $300 a month for, I don't know, probably 6, 7, 8 years for a scanner that did half of what this does. And they lowered the price down to $250, and I paid that for, got to be nine years after that. So, through my time using a scanner, I paid $300 a month and then $250, and now I pay $97 a month for twice the scanner. I am super happy, super happy. Tim, hey, that's a good gimmick right there. I like that. Ed told you that you could get it for $47 a month, but you had to give him $50. I like that. Good plan. I'm going to use that one. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I am going to put this on YouTube. Thank you very, very much for coming. And I will get this Pristine PBS put on the favorite list once I get a couple little tweaks in there. And when I get this black box finished up, I'll get this one on. And I am liking this an awful lot. You guys take care. Thank you very much for being here. We'll see you next Tuesday, okay? Have a great day.